Welcome, everyone. I think that this is going to be an outstanding day. Well, every day is an outstanding day, but particularly outstanding because we have Ken Countess with us today. He is going to be talking about creating and sending your first email campaign in 15 minutes or less. I think that somehow got left off this slide, but that's part of it. Before I turn it over to Ken, I have a few things that I need to do. I'm Diane McKeever. I am the education chair at the Minnesota chapter of SCORE. Just want to tell you about SCORE. SCORE is a nationwide nonprofit organization and a partner with the SBA, the Small Business Administration. We provide free confidential business mentoring and business education like these webinars. Our chapter, which is the Minnesota chapter, has nearly 90 volunteers waiting to help you. All you have to do is apply for a mentor, and within a day or two, you'll be assigned a mentor who can help you navigate your way through business challenges. Our chapter was recently named a chapter of the year. So where in your business development can we help you? Well, literally from beginning to end. If you're thinking about starting a business and you'd like someone to kick around your idea and see whether or not it's financially feasible, give us a call, or not a call, contact us and we can help you. Or you're in the startup phase, you've actually started and you realize that you don't know as much about everything as you thought you did, or you're in business and want to grow, or lastly, you want to sell or close your business, or perhaps conversely, you're in a situation where you want to buy a business. We can help you negotiate that so that you get the most for your dollar. How do you get a mentor? Well, really, really easy. Go to score.org/Minnesota. All you have to do is click on the big old button that says request a mentor. You'll fill in a little bit of information. The better you can define what your business needs are, the better we can help you. Recently, somebody put in NA there, not applicable. It's kind of hard to assign you to the appropriate mentor if we don't know what you're looking for. So fill that in. You can also look at mentor profiles. You can choose your own mentor if you would like. On our website, you can look at our workshop calendar and see what we have upcoming. We have weekly webinars, with the exception of the 2 weeks around Christmas. We have weekly webinars 50 weeks out of the year, so check them out. Lastly, I want to thank our sponsors and community partners. You'll notice that many of our sponsors are financial institutions. If you go into one of these financial institutions with a SCORE mentor, or having had a SCORE mentor to help you through the process, they're going to listen to you a lot more carefully than if you don't have one. And thank our community partners for helping us help you. All right. It's up to you, Ken. I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to stop sharing. And I'd like to welcome Ken Countess again. Ken is email. That is who he is. So let's take it away, Ken.
Okay. Well, hey, everybody. Good afternoon if you're on the East Coast. And I know we have some people that are in Texas. So we've got people in the Central Time Zone. Welcome to everybody. We're glad you're here. My name is Ken Countess, and we're going to get things underway here just momentarily. Let me just bring up the stuff so I can see it too. There we go. Okay, so this is create and send your first email campaign in 15 minutes or less. A lot of people say to me, how in the world do you do that? I'm going to show you. And it may come as a surprise to you, but we're going to make it happen, and we're going to get all of this covered within the hour. And I'll stick around and answer questions. If we end a little bit early, that's more time for you to ask questions. All right, so listen, email marketing today allows you to reach your customers or members wherever they are, including on their mobile phone. In fact, 77% of Americans today own smartphones, and as many as 56% of emails are actually opened on a mobile device. And when you read something on a mobile device, it looks a lot different than you see it here. The way it looks on a mobile device is something that's much cleaner. much more easy to read, because one of the things we want to think about is if you know that people tend to read your campaigns, and think about your own activity. If you're reading a lot of your emails, or at least checking your emails on a small screen, you want to be able to read it, right? And so your clients do too, because one thing we know is if an email is really hard to read, it's going to be deleted. So I'm going to show you how to save time and look great with a reusable master template. What I'm going to do is teach you how to create and send your first email campaign in 15 minutes or less. Now, let me ask you this question for those of you who are here with us live. Obviously, if you're watching the recording, you won't be able to do this, but put in the chat, are you a beginner, intermediate, or advanced email marketer? Are you using email today? And if so, beginner, intermediate, or advanced? Michelle's a beginner. Megan, beginner. Intermediate, Donald. We have mostly beginners here. Okay, this is good. This helps me organize how I'm going to present the content. I see Carolyn's intermediate, Don's a beginner. Well, no matter what stage you're at, you're in the right place. Let's start by talking about what types of emails you might send, because before you spend time creating your campaign, it's important to think about what you want to send. Now, I recommend sending an email at least twice a month, and there are two types of campaigns. They're time-based or informational. Time-based emails are when you have sensitive information, like sales, promos, or events. If you're a retail business or B2B business, you may have gone through Black Friday and Small Business Saturday and Cyber Monday. And if you're a nonprofit, Giving Tuesday. Well, those are time-based, right? And then there's the informational email that focuses on sharing info that helps you to connect with your readers. And this is where you can provide valuable content that helps to support your products and services and keeps people in the know about what you do. Ideally, you want to send a mixture of these types of emails. Look, no one wants to be sold to all of the time, right? And you can even marry the two types together by providing some helpful or valuable information that entices them to make a purchase. And in turn, the valuable content will help to build a trusting relationship. And then when you do have something to sell, they'll be more likely to make a purchase from you. No matter what you choose to send, the design is going to be the same no matter what. And you'll notice that these two samples look similar. It's just the content that's different. So now that you have a basis for getting started with email marketing, let me talk about the agenda for today's event and what we're going to accomplish. First, we're going to review the 7 essential elements that you need to design an effective email campaign. Then I'll jump into a live account so I can show you how to create your own reusable template to save you time. And then lastly, I'll talk about how to write your email to get your readers to take action. And I'll also show you how to use a reusable template and add in the content for your email campaign. And as a treat, I'm going to show you a somewhat new tool that's inside Constant Contact. It's AI, artificial intelligence. They actually have an engine that's based on ChatGPT, and it is super cool. Make sure you stick around for that. Before we continue, my name's Ken Countess. I'm an email marketing expert. I just got my certification once again over the weekend. I've lost track of how many years it is. It's well over a dozen. Certified email marketing expert. I am Constant Contact's top worldwide trainer. And I'm delighted that you're here with us. If you'd like to get a copy of today's presentation, I know that Diane is going to send it out to you, but I got a little cheat sheet for you here. You can pick up your phone, snap the QR code, and that'll take you to a landing page where you'll be giving me your email address and your first name. And that'll put you on my newsletter list. The next one you get will be next Tuesday. You can unsubscribe if you wish. You don't have to stay on there, and it won't hurt my feelings too much. Or you can, if you don't have your smartphone handy or you don't want to use it, use the URL I just dropped in the chat. It's the same one that's down at the bottom of the slide, kenisemail.com/score. And if you click that, you'll go to the same landing page and you'll get access to the presentation. Okay. So let's move along. We have a lot to cover. Are you ready? If you are, here we go. Now, let's talk about the 7 elements that you need to design your email. They look like this. There's a header, which is the subject line, a pre-header, which is the text that shows just after the subject line. Of course, you want your logo and colors and an image. One image is all you need, a message body, a call to action, and a footer. And Alerte asked, do we need a subscription for Constant Contact? I was actually going to address that later, but here's a link to sign up for a 60-day free trial where you get access to the entire package, which is not only email, it's social media and a few other things as well. So you can use that. That'll give you a 60-day free trial. You'll also wind up working with me. I have a free group class every single month and a Facebook page. It's called the Inner Circle. So you can take advantage of that if you like. So here's, these are the 7 pieces of an email marketing campaign, but there are just 5 things that you need to change each time. The logo and colors, they stay the same. The 5 elements that will change are your subject line and your pre-header, right? Because you don't have the same subject showing up every single time. When you send an email out, you've got to change up the subject, right? Otherwise, nobody's going to pay attention to you. It'll look like the same thing they just received. So we teach in other classes how to get a great subject line. And I'll teach you a little bit of that in the demo as well. So that, the pre-header, add 1 image. That's all you need, but make sure it's a quality image. Then your message, and then a link. We call it the call to action, or the CTA. That's what you want someone to do. You don't want them to just get your email and do nothing with it. In fact, if it shows up as having been read, you don't really know that it's been read. You just know that they got it in their inbox. It's that call to action, that number 6 that you see there, where you change or add the link. That's the thing that's going to make your cash register ring. That's really important. So let's talk about the header information. The header is really important. It's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you're a recognizable name in the inbox. But the header is an important thing when it comes to design. And I put it up there as number 1 because that's the first thing people see in their inbox. They see the name of the person that it's coming from, but this is the way to catch your reader's attention and get them to open that email. People are making quick decisions in their inbox every day, so you want to use this element to your advantage. The from information is what displays first for your contacts. Ideally, you want to use an email address from your business domain, not Gmail or Yahoo.com domains. In fact, early next year, Google and Yahoo are going to limit what they deliver. If you're using a gmail.com domain for your business email or a yahoo.com domain for your business email, you need to buy a domain. They're cheap to buy. You can get them for as little as $4. So make sure that you do that before these new things take effect early in 2024. Next, you want to be sure, as I say, that it's a recognizable name. If Susan Grant showed up in my inbox, I'd think, who is Susan Grant? I have no idea who that is. So you want to be sure that there's a recognizable name, and that name, whichever one you wind up using, is the same name every time. So you wind up being recognizable. Now, the next thing is the reply to email address. And typically, the from and reply email is the same. The key here is that someone's going to receive and monitor that email address for replies. The from and reply email addresses are two sections that typically don't change. So you set them up first in your reusable master template, and you'll be good to go. Now, that said, you'll need to change the subject line and the pre-header text with each email you send, as I've mentioned. And when you think about subject lines, think small. 4 to 7 words, no more than that. The reason is that, remember, as I mentioned earlier, that more than half of people open up an email or view email on a small screen, an iPhone or an Android or maybe an iPad. Well, an iPhone limits what it will display in a subject line to 30 or 31 characters, depending on which iPhone it is. So you've got to keep it short and sweet. 4 to 7 words is what we use as a rule of thumb. For the pre-header, you can hook them with a little additional context from the subject line. The pre-header text typically 5 to 8 words. Now, no matter what template you wind up choosing, you want to make it look like your brand. First, you want to place your logo in the top left or center. This ensures that your brand is recognized right away because it's the first thing your subscribers will see within the body of the email. People are used to clicking on images when shopping online. You probably know that from your own experience. So make sure that you turn your logo into a clickable link that takes them directly to your website. And I can show you how to do that during the demo. You also have to use your brand colors. How many of you actually know the hex value for the colors of your brand? Go ahead and raise your hand in the chat. If you know the hex colors, most people don't. Megan does. Alerte does. All right. Yeah, and they are, and Paula does. It's pretty easy to figure out. We're not going to go into that level of detail in this session, but make sure that your brand colors are used consistently throughout your email campaigns. All right, next thing, we want to bring life to your email, right? And photos bring your marketing communications to life and help you grab the reader's attention. Let's see, from Paula, can you use constant contact on social media for paid ads? Yeah, 100% you can do that. If we have time, I'll show you how it's done. Now, choose an image that supports your message. And if you're having a sale on a particular product, include a clear image of the product or an image of someone using the product. If you're promoting an event, use a picture that captures the fun people had at the last event. In this example, Southside Cycling has included an image of the inventory that they're promoting. On this notion of show people at a past event, I spoke at an event last Monday in the Orlando area. That's where I'm based. There were 188 people at that event. So you know that the person who organized that event, when they hold it again, they're going to show a picture of this big crowd of people having a great time. If you have products to sell or you have services, or maybe you're maybe a pressure washer and you want to use before and after pictures of projects that you've worked on. These are things that are going to help you stand out, that are going to draw attention to your campaigns. The other thing you want to be sure you do is drive traffic to your website. So make sure the images that you place in there are clickable. Question here is it advisable to use an image for the entire body of the email except the customizable parts? No. The answer is that you want to have white space in that email. If you have a large image that takes up most of the email, it's probably not going to get delivered to the inbox, because the artificial intelligence and the internet service providers, these are the Spectrums and the other internet providers of the world. We're using fiber internet here. We have WOW. So what happens is everything that is sent is actually being pre-scanned by the internet service provider because they want to ensure that there's nothing bad being sent through their system. And if they believe that it's something bad, they're going to put it in the spam folder or not even deliver it at all. And because images, software these days really can't recognize what the image is that's being sent, you want to have smaller images. Generally speaking, as with most things in life, it's the 80-20 rule. 20% white space, 80% you can have text and images. Think about it that way. All right, next thing, because your main goal is to inspire more action from your readers, you want to give special attention to your headlines. 22-point text is what you want to be thinking about. When it comes to the message body, 20 lines of text in today's world, that's actually more than you should use. I like to keep my emails to 15 lines of text. On average, it's not hard and fast. But the bottom line is this: people don't scroll and read entire emails anymore. So keep them short and sweet. 14-point text is what you want to be thinking about. Christina, yes, you will be getting the slides. And if you go to kenisemail.com/score, you'll actually get an advanced copy. Font styles, keep a limit on your fonts to just 1 or 2 font styles at most. Next, when it comes to designing your email, you should never send an email without asking your audience to do something. We call this the call to action. You use a button to grab your reader's attention and make it easy to click on. And make your button pop with a color that matches your brand. And then you'll want to use action-oriented words on your button to engage your audience. Think of things like order online, register by December 1st, request a copy, or download our guide. You see, when people click on your button, you also want to be sure that you take them exactly where they want to go. Get them engaged. If they land in the place they expected to land, they'll spend more time there. If you just put a link to the homepage of your website and that's not where the real content is, they're going to drift off and they may never come back. Make sure you add your footer information too. That's the stamp of useful information at the bottom of your email. By the way, it also includes a way for someone to unsubscribe if they decide they're no longer interested in your content. The best part about all this is you get them set up in your reusable master template once and then forget it. And you'll only need to update it in case something changes with your contact info. So you want to be sure that you include your contact info, your website, your hours of operation, social media buttons, so people know how to get in touch with you if they have questions. So those are the 7 elements of email design. Now we're ready to create a reusable master template. The question here is it possible to track if the reader opened the email? Yes, and I'll show you how that's done. Let's get into a demo. So I'm going to switch screens here. Just give me a moment so I can find where I put that Constant Contact account. It's right there. So you should be seeing this is my live Constant Contact accounts, folks. This is one of the risks that you run when you're on, we'll call it live TV. You want to make sure everything's working just right, right? So what you see here is that I've got just under 5,000 contacts in my account. I've been at this a long time. This is a very clean list. If you're just starting out, by the way, it's totally okay if you have a very small list. I actually have someone who appeared on my podcast a few months ago she started with a list of 8 people. And with that list of 8 people, generated $350,000 in sales. So your list doesn't have to be big. It just needs to be quality. You never want to buy a list. Never buy a list. Okay. All right. So this is my main dashboard. I'm going to show you the AI thing here in just a minute. But here you can see that these are emails that I've sent out in the fairly recent past. One of them here, 68% of the people who received it opened it. That's pretty good. All right, so we are inside Constant Contact. Here's how we get started. You very simply log in and you click the Create button. And immediately what pops up is 8 different things that you can do inside a Constant Contact account. We're going to create an email, but I also want you to know that if you'd like to send SMS texts, create and organize events and have people sign up for them, you can do your social posting right from within Constant Contact, email automation, which we probably won't have time to go into during this session, landing pages. If you went to my website, if you went to kenisemail.com/score, you were presented with a landing page that actually came from inside Constant Contact. If you like to run surveys, there are some really good survey tools out there. SurveyMonkey being one of them, JotForm is another. Well, Constant Contact has survey pages too. And someone asked about running ads. Yes, you can do them right from within Constant Contact. All right, so let's go ahead and create an email. That's what I just clicked. And there are lots of things that you could do. One of the things that you should know is that Constant Contact has somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 different templates that are already set up for you. And all you need to do is go in there and change, for instance, the logo and the color palette and the calls to action. We're going to do something really simple here. We're going to start from scratch. So I've just clicked that one. And when I do that, this very, very basic email shows up. And within a few minutes, we're going to create that master template that I mentioned to you. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add an image. In this example, it's going to be my logo. And everything, as you'll see here, is drag and drop. I use KIE as the shorthand for my email, KIE being Ken is email. And so within just a second or two, the logo should show up here. And once again, this is the thing about live TV. Sometimes things work the way they're supposed to, and sometimes they don't. So we're just going to hope we get things working correctly today. Let's try this. There we go. It actually went in there twice because I clicked it twice. So there's my logo. As I mentioned before, we want to always link your logo back to your website. So here it's going to go to kenisemail.com. We can actually set it up so we can track who's clicking on the links. So we'll, let's see if I can quickly find this. I might not be able to. We'll just have them go to that list. So when people click on something inside your email, they can actually get assigned to a specific list. And you'll know who clicked on what content. All right, so we have the logo there. It's already linked to my website. Maybe we want to add in a block of text. Maybe instead of just a block of text, we want to drag over something that has an article heading and an image. Remember, I mentioned just one image is all we want. I'm just going to take one that already exists. This was one for Black Friday deals. And just like that, we have an email with a heading. We have an image. We can link the text. Here we'll, let's see, we'll just make it my website again. Actually, we'll have them take it to our packages page. Then you can add whatever copy you want. And remember, again, that you want to keep your emails to about 20 lines of text or less. We want a call to action button, right? And that call to action, number one, we're going to use my brand color. So it's going to be red. And we're going to change the text to say, click here to learn more. And then we'll attach that button to a page on the website. Actually, we'll take it to my podcast. And just like that, within a few minutes, we've got the basis of an email that's just about ready to go out. Another thing you want to do is give people an opportunity to follow you on social media, and you can have multiple social channels. So in this example, we've got Facebook and X, which used to be known as Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. And you can limit these. You don't have to have all of them. If you only use one social platform, you can take out the ones that you don't use. It's really that simple. Let's say, too, that you would like to have a video in your email. We simply drag and drop the video box here, and you can instantly add a video that is on YouTube or Vimeo or Wistia. Those are the three where if you drop in a URL, it'll actually take a screenshot. So you'll have the thumbnail there and you'll have the arrow, and people will know immediately that there's a video that you want them to watch. Once you are ready to send that email out, or you think you're ready to send it out, you just hit preview and test. The system will check for errors and make sure that you've got everything connected the way it's supposed to be connected. Here it's saying that there's something in the subject line. It's saying you got 5 words, green light, good to go. You have 0 emoji, good to go. You're not using any special characters, good to go. And what it's saying here is you might want to consider doing personalization. The other opportunity is that you can use Constant Contact's artificial intelligence to recommend subject lines and pre-headers. And the way it does that is it scans the content of your email, and based on what it finds, it will recommend different subject lines that you might consider using. Now, I haven't changed any of the text, and what it's done is it's read through the default text that's in there. And so these are the 5 subject lines that it's recommending that I consider. You can use them or not, totally up to you. The same opportunity for pre-headers. And this is all based on the artificial intelligence built into Constant Contact. And remember earlier I said you want your from name to be something recognizable. What I use is my name and then my company name. That's a best practice. And then the from name and the reply to name, generally speaking, you want them to match. Diane's asking, are emojis recommended in the subject line? Great question, Diane. Emojis work well, but you don't want to use them all the time. And if you're interested in using an emoji, you can just click over here, as I just did, and we'll pick clapping hands. And whoops. All right, so we put the clapping hands there. Maybe we want to edit it. Maybe that's not exactly where we wanted it to be, so we can move it from that side to that side. And let's do that one more time and then save it. So we'll save it. And now what happens is this. You get a preview of what it will look like in somebody's inbox. And what happens is when an emoji is used and it shows up in somebody's subject line, that's going to get their attention, right? So you don't want to use the same emoji every time, and you don't want to use emojis all the time. People get numb to seeing emojis. So mix it up a little bit. If you wanted to, you could put a different emoji in the pre-header as well. We'll put a grinning face here in this one, and here we'll put it on the end. So once again, The subject line has the emoji there, and the pre-header has an emoji in it as well. One more thing I want to show you before we move on, and that is, as I said before, we've got artificial intelligence now built into Constant Contact. For now, it is free and in every package, and Constant Contact starts at only $12 a month. So if you like using AI or you haven't used it yet and you're curious about it, check this out. Let's see what we can do. I'll just click the dashboard here. And here's how we try out ChatGPT built into Constant Contact. And again, for now, it's free. So if you haven't already tried it, you might want to give it a whirl. I saw a little bit earlier, I saw some people put their business name. I'm looking over at another screen because I know we had a few business names in here, and I want to pick one. Let's see, who do we have here? This is one of these, pick me, pick me. All right, Donald's here. Let's take Redwall Solutions. We're going to paste that in. Donald, give me in 2 or 3 words, what is Redwall Solutions? I'm going to look at the chat. By the way, we'll have time to do more than just one of these. So, Donald, if you're still with me, go ahead and let me know what Redwall Solutions is. And while he's doing that, if someone else wants to put in their company name, 2 or 3 words about the product, and whether you're online or brick and mortar. All right, professional consultancy, scientific engineers. That's what I'm going to use. Thanks for that, Donald. So we'll put here scientific engineers. And is there a specific market that you cater to, Donald? Until something shows up, I'm going to copy it and paste it right there. And check this out. I'm going to just ask the system to create a newsletter with this information here and make it professional, and I'll click create. And within just a few seconds, look at this. We have the basis of a newsletter already set up for us. I'm going to copy this text. I'll close this up. I'll go back to the campaign that we just started building a few moments ago. I'm going to edit that campaign. I see a few more coming in. Good. Thank you, Stefan. We'll, if we have the time, we'll check yours as well. Let's go ahead and open this up. It's taking a few seconds to do that, so we'll give it a little bit of time to think. In the meantime, these are some of the key features that you want to be thinking about when you start to put an email marketing campaign together. It looks like we got a little internet burp here, and again, this is live, but what you did see was how quickly and easily we had some new content created. You could actually copy and paste that content into a Word document. You can tweak it any way you wish. Let's go back over here. Let's see, and let's try another one. Looks like we have a little internet glitch here. Wouldn't you know that? Here we go. All right, let's do it this way. So Stefan is a Rocket Phonics Foundation. So we'll put that in here. Volunteer tutors for low-income families. Let's go ahead and copy that. And volunteer tutors, and we'll put this on a separate line. And instead of it being a newsletter, we'll call it an announcement, and we'll hit create. Gautam is asking, is personalization possible? Yes, I can show you how that's done as well. So here, before I even finish my sentence, we have an announcement for Rocket Phonics Foundation. And once again, this is artificial intelligence. If you ever get writer's block, or if you don't write copy every day, or maybe you're pretty good at writing copy, but you want a few new ideas, this is a great way to get things off the ground. So you don't have to be sweating, gee, I'm not in the mood to write something today, all you need to do, as you see here, is put in a company name, and what you do, you don't even have to put the company name in if you don't want, and who your target market is, and the system automatically creates this for you. So we're going to do this here. Let's see if we can get things to work now. I'm going to copy this and close that up, and we'll go back to our email, and let's see if we can get things to work now. We do. Yay! All right, so I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to simply paste it as plain text. And within just a few seconds, we have created an email that's likely to be very engaging. And once again, you don't have to use what it creates for you as is. You can get in there and modify it whatever way you like. But here you go, Stefan. Within just a few seconds, we've got something that you could actually send out. By the way, if you don't have a lot of stock imagery, Constant Contact does. They have something like 300 million photos. Many are free, many are paid for. Let's just see if it comes up with anything for tutoring. And there you go. We've got all kinds of things that show up for tutoring. And let's see if there are any free images. No, these are paid. But you pay $8 for these images just one time. There are lots of free stock photo libraries out there. I personally use Adobe stock photos. You can use things like JumpStory. Many different services are out there to help you create your email. By the way, if you see me looking away from the camera, it's because I have multiple windows open, and I want to be sure that we keep everything on track. I see Carolyn's hand is raised. So go ahead and put your question in the chat, and let me also show you how personalization happens too. So let me move a couple of windows around. So personalization happens like this. You can see here, personalize. We can have it personalize the first name. I like to use, if I don't have the first name, the word friend. And so what will happen here is the system will automatically plug in the first name based on who's in my contact database. And if there is no first name, it'll put the word friend. And just like this, it knows it's me. So it says, Ken, the latest news for you. You won't want to miss this. All right, let's see. What else can we cover here? I have a few more things I wanted to go over before we open things up for questions. So let me switch off that share and go on to something different. So we've got that demo done. We'll talk about emails that inspire action. And that's part of what I was doing when I did that quick campaign for you. The thing you want to remember is that every email should have a supporting image that draws in your readers. It's best if you can use your own photos, but if you can't, you can always access the free and paid images in Constant Contact. Unsplash.com is another great source for imagery as well. When it comes to what do you actually say in an email, it's what are you offering? What's the headline? Get that headline to stop the reader in their tracks. Tell them how it's going to help them, provide a little bit more detail, and then what should they do next? That call to action button is really important. The goal is keep it simple. I can't stress that enough. One picture, one paragraph, one call to action. That's all you need.
Sometimes, the only thing more difficult than running a business is finding the right words to market it. Lucky for you, our new AI content generator doesn't sweat words. Just tell it what you want to create, enter a few details, click Generate Content, and in just seconds it'll give you options to build from or leave as is. Writer's block? Not anymore. With artificial intelligence doing the wordsmithing for you, you can craft the perfect message in the blink of an AI.
So don't be afraid, try it out. Use AI to write your content because those content generators, they truly work like magic. Just put in a couple of keywords or phrases and it writes the article for you. And you can use AI generated content in a variety of different channels. These are just a few of the ways that you can use AI. I see a couple more questions. I will go ahead and answer them. Before we break apart for the day, I just want to remind you that there are those 7 elements of email design: a header, a pre-header, the logo and colors, the message body, the call to action, and the footer. Just keep it simple and create that reusable master template. What you saw me create is something that I can save and reuse again and again and again, just changing out the content that'll change. We have a client that was using Google AdWords when she and I first met. We met at the Daytona Beach International Airport. She was attending a session very similar to this one. And in using Google AdWords, she spent money for her ads. And Paula, I see your question about ads. I'm going to show that to you here in a few moments. In 1 year, she went from $50,000 a year when she was only using Google AdWords to when she started using email marketing. And in 6 months, her business grew by another $250,000. And so by the end of the year, $750,000 in sales. She stopped using Google AdWords, started using email marketing. And here's Patty telling her story.
Hi, I'm Patty Fay with Eternal Brandings. We make logo products, like you see behind me and right here with your logo on them. Years ago, I sat where you sat listening to Ken and hemmed and hawed, and pretty much no way was I going to spend any extra money. Well, finally I did it. And as a result, I think initially we spent a few dollars and got several thousand back a month. And now we spend about $80 a month and get back about $15,000 in profit. So we're Eternal Brandings. We put your logo on stuff and Ken will get your message out. And all I can tell you is it works. Just listen to him. He really knows what he's doing and it doesn't take a long time to work. It was instant for us, actually instant. All right, thanks. You all have a great day. Thank you, Ken.
So to recap, she now spends $80 a month on email marketing. It's constant contact. And it generates $15,000 a month in profit, not just sales, but profit. Now, of course, your mileage may vary. Not everybody's going to receive that kind of a result, but this gives you a sense of what's possible. So if you're still with me, put a yes in the chat box. Yep, here come the yeses. All right, now, Paula, I know you've been patient. I want to share with you and everybody else how we do ads inside Constant Contact. Once again, if you recall, this was something that we can save and use as a template. Donald's asking, can AI help me find potential client email addresses? Donald, the way you would do that is by using the social media tool inside Constant Contact. And in your social posts, have a link to have people join your mailing list. And that would be the best way for you to do that. All right, so when it comes to things like running ads, we very simply go to the ads button. And we go to create an ad. And what Constant Contact will do is help you generate a Facebook lead ad or a Facebook and Instagram ad. We'll go to a Facebook lead ad just for purposes of this demonstration. So you want to connect up your Facebook account. We're going to save. So we've got a check mark there. We're going to select the social pages that we want this to show up on. So we'll do that and we'll say, yeah, why not advertise on Instagram as well? You can then get in there and design your lead ad. So for the sake of time, we won't actually go through it, but then you can select your audience, select your budget and schedule, And once you get the 4 green check boxes, and Constant Contact will lead you through how to do that, then Constant Contact has a handshake agreement with Facebook and Instagram. So as long as it passes through these check boxes, your ad will be presented very quickly. So in terms of the ad content, very simply, we would either take an image that we already have, like this, and then we'd have our ad description, our ad headline, the button, and we would save it. And we would just go on from there, step by step. It's really easy. Yeah, Paula, it is pretty awesome. And by the way, you saw there that there's 30% off Constant Contact if you sign up for Constant Contact using the link that I provided a little bit earlier. In fact, I'll put it in here again. Just give me a second here because I'm not the best typist in the world. So if you use that link that is in the chat right now, what that will allow you to do is sign up for the free 60-day trial. They're offering 30% off for the next 3 months. If you do that before the end of the workday tomorrow, someone from Constant Contact will give you a buzz. Go ahead and take that call, and they'll get you set up. And I'll give you a little tip. They also, if you ask them, they'll offer you 50% off of your first 3 months, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I know for sure 30% off for the next 3 months. So the bottom line is this: at 36-to-1 average return on investment, there's nothing that beats Constant Contact or an email marketing service to help you take your business to the next level. If you've been on the fence about it, this is the time to get started. So if you're really ready, take action and start using email marketing. 36-to-1 ROI. It simply doesn't get any better than that. So if you're interested in the free trial, go to thebestemailauffer.com. Paul is asking, can Constant Contact help you create your theme for your business? Yeah, it can. What you want to do is you want to be sure you've got your brand colors. There are some tools in there that will help you get started. But let me take it a step further, Paula. Call me. I'm here to help you succeed. For those of you who do sign up for the free trial, you'll automatically become a member of my inner circle. This is a group of people who get Constant Contact through the presentations I do. And I invite you to a free group call. It's an hour-long call on the 3rd Wednesday of every month. And we also have a private Facebook page too. Email starts at just $12 a month. That's less than it costs you to go to Starbucks a couple of times. And by the way, if you missed this, I know Diane's going to send out a copy of the presentation as well. But you can go to kenisemail.com/score or click the QR code and you'll be able to download it there as well. I invite you to set up a free call with me. Go to kenisemail.com/call or use that QR code. Don't you love it? The world is so different today, using QR codes for nearly everything. Crazy. All right, listen, I will stick around and answer other questions that may have come in that I missed. In the meantime, I want to thank you for joining us today. I know Diane has a few closing comments. My name is Ken Countess. My company is kenisemail.com, and you can call or text me at the number you see on the screen. Back to you.
Wow. That's my response to your presentation. Wow. I don't know why more people aren't using email. I have just made a number of notes that I'm going to send to all of the other mentors in our chapter and say, you've got to watch this, and send the link to all of your clients, because everybody should be using email. You did a great job on that. I'm going to kick you off your screen sharing so
Okay.
that I can share my screen, if that's all right with you.
100%.
All right. So I just wanted to remind everyone, if you feel that you need a mentor to help you along with your business, please consider going to score.org/Manasota. Click on the mentor button, the request a mentor button, and you'll be asked for a little bit of information, not a lot, just your name and contact information and a brief summary of what you're looking for in a mentor, what kind of help, and you'll be assigned one. You can also click on mentor profiles and choose your own mentor. On our website page, you'll be able to look at our calendar as well. So I want to thank all of you for participating. More importantly, I'd like to thank Ken for the outstanding job that you did presenting this information. I don't see any more questions. Do you, Ken?
No, I don't. I think we got them all. I want to thank you, Diane, for hosting today's event. You're awesome.
It's always a pleasure hosting events with you. So thank you very much. And we'll see you all soon, I hope. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.